Has this character said anything?
Well, one of us looks bright and cheery this morning.
Well, why wouldn't I be? I just stayed awake all night waiting to hear what was going on.
Well, this guy says that he got Laura's necklace from the ship's captain.
Oh, come on. Now, how often does a ship's captain give part of the crew a trinket?
Look, what happened? Let's sit down and shut up. And talk when I tell you.
Here is the pages. You're giving them possession of the house much sooner than they thought. And they are delighted.
Well, if they're delighted, then, well, I'm delighted.
Well, yes. And actually, since everything's been speeded up, if they wondered if they might start taking some measurements so they can plan their decoration.
Well, I don't see any problem with that. When did they want to come over?
Well, if it's not inconvenient for you, I'd like to bring them over this morning.
Well, fine. By all means, Stella will be here, and you can come anytime.
Thank you, Doctor. That's very kind of you.
Bye, Mrs. Moss. Oh, Edward, just the person I wanted to see.
No, really, Monica. You have no idea how much that thrills me. What do you want?
Well, I wanted to let you know the pages are coming by. They want to take some measurements, and I'm going to ask you to try not to insult them. I really don't want anything to go wrong with the sale.
Well, believe me, Monica, if I thought insults could penetrate their thick skulls, I'd stay home and hurl epithets at them. It just so happens I'm going out.
Oh, goody. Edward, did I hear you say you're leaving?
Yes, you did, my dear, so you can have the pleasure of remaining here and entertaining the new owners of this house.
The pages? Yes, Lila, they're just going to come over and take some measurements. Matter of fact, I'll be here. I'll let them in, so it won't bother you at all. If you'll excuse me, I forgot my purse.
What measurements do you suppose?
Oh, who knows? Our beds, probably. Lord knows they've taken possession of everything else. Well, I don't know when I'm going to be home, Lila.
Well, dear, I don't even know where you're going.
To find Alan, of course. We have got to find a way to stop Monica.
What is?
Is Rick here?
No, he's still at the hospital. His bypass patient is critical. What?
Oh, well, just tell him I had to go without him, okay?
Go where?
I was at the North Star shipping offices this morning. I found out why this Captain Hawthorne didn't sail last night.
Why not?
Because he's testifying this morning right here in town for the Coast Guard. Now, I figure I'm going to go there. I'll catch him when he goes into the hearing or out.
The Coast Guard hearing. That would be in their building, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I could go. I could just be a little late for work. It's real close to the hospital. I could go.
I'd like that.
Okay.
If it's okay, I would like to go, too. I don't have to be at work until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, fine. I don't want to argue with you. Just keep your mouth shut, all right?
I won't say a word.
Oh, that'll be the day.
I'll get that, Stella.
Good morning, Dr. Quartermain.
Mrs. Ross?
You remember the pages, of course?
Oh, yes, vividly.
Nice to see you again.
Oh, Oswald, dear, now that I see this again, I was right. Mumsey's runner is much too long for this hall.
Mumsy's what?
Oh, Leanne's mater has a really crackerjack runner. We were hoping this hallway would be just a trick, but I'm afraid you're right, sweet. It's just not going to do the trick.
Well, maybe he could just shrink a little.
He? Oh, Dr. Quartermain, you're delightfully droll, but Leanne's mater's runner is an Oriental, of course.
Yeah, well, I could say something about that, but I think I'll pass.
Oh, Oswald, pet, you were going to speak to Dr. Quartermain about moving day.
Just getting to it, dear. As you know, Doctor, we've cut all our bridges, so to speak. We sold our house in Greenwich in no time at all.
Well, how very fortunate for you.
Well, we had the right sort of neighbors, if you know what I mean. People were just dying to own in the area.
Oh, yes, I can imagine.
So you see, Doctor, with all of our things in storage, to say nothing of Mumsy's, we are eager to settle in.
Yes, we're really just terribly cramped living in the hotel. Would you believe that the living room of our suite has no view?
What happens? That's appalling.
What the pages would like to know, Doctor, I'm sure, is when they can start moving in.
Oh, well, I would say the sooner the better.
Oh, that's top hole, Doctor. Really sporting of you.
Well, however,
Yes, Doctor?
well, you know, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they also live here, and unfortunately they have delayed in looking for a place to live.
Oh, well, older people can be that way, I know, but it took Mumsy weeks to decide on our Christmas decoration motif.
It's old age, of course. No sort of get up and go.
Well, I wouldn't exactly refer to my father-in-law that way. He gets up and goes constantly. However, your moving in really depends on when they find a place to live.
Yeah. Susan, will you get the door? Sorry, go ahead. Susan, please get the door. Sorry, Erwin, I'm trying to get somebody's at the door. Go on.
Mr. Quartermain.
Thank heaven he's still here.
A nice surprise. You come to join us for breakfast?
No, thank you. Alan, whoever that is, hang up.
He's talking to his lawyer from New York.
Alan, what does the man say?
Excuse me a second, Erwin. I cannot hold two conversations at the same time. Will you please be calm?
Calm in the midst of a crisis?
Okay, Erwin, I do understand. Look, I'm going to call him as soon as I get off the phone with you, and I will get back to you, and I thank you very much.
Well?
Could I get you a cup of coffee, Mr. Quartermain?
No, thank you.
Excuse me.
You know, that child sounds less like a Quartermain every day. We Quartermains do not cry ever. Now, that's a family rule.
My attorney had news.
Oh, he can put Monica in jail for the rest of her life?
That would be very nice. Unfortunately, he didn't say that. What he did say was he thinks there's a way of stopping her from selling the house.
I knew it. He can stop her. How?
Well, it's very complicated, so what he's done is he sent the papers up to Lee, and Lee's going to explain it all to us.
Well, good Lord, man, what are we waiting for? Grab your coat. I want to see Lee Baldwin right now.
Would you two like me? Guess not.
204, this is it, right here.
For the benefit of the stenographer present at this hearing, please state the exact longitude and latitude of the vessel, the Neptune, at the time of the incident under investigation.
Yes, sir. The Neptune cutter engines at 325 and 190.
Excuse me. Is there a Captain Hawthorne in there?
Oh, yes, sir. But he's testifying, and this is a closed hearing.
Closed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, the attempted rescue then being concluded, I gave a full report to the Coast Guard by radio and then received permission to continue on course.
And did you, in fact, proceed, Captain Hawthorne?
Yes, sir, I did, and there were no further incidents until we reached our port of call in South Carolina.
I see. Are there any further questions? Hearing none, you are excused, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me. Captain Hawthorne.
Yes.
I'm sorry to be so abrupt, sir, but this necklace, is it true that you gave this necklace to one of your crew members on the Neptune?
Oh, yes, it is. Where'd you get it?
Well, I'll explain that later. What I'd like to know is where you got it. You actually gave this to one of your sailors. Is that true?
Young man, I just answered that question. Now, yes, I did.
Well, where did you get it?
What is the disturbance over there?
Sir, this is the necklace that I was referring to in my testimony. Now, this is the same necklace that I found clinging to a piece of the wreckage of the boat that the Neptune hit and sank at sea.
On Ryan's Hope, the wedding ceremony begins for Roger and Jane, but not without a hitch.
I can't do it.
And on the edge of night,
She's worth over $200 million.
extortion puts a price tag on Raven.
She'll pay anything we want.
Ryan's Hope, the edge of night. Weekdays.
Sir, may it be entered on the record that this is, in fact, the necklace that I saw entangled in the wreckage of the boat that my vessel struck and sank at sea.
Let it be entered. Now, may I ask, who are these people?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. My name is Luke Spencer. This is Dr. Lesley Weber and Amy. This necklace belongs to my wife.
She disappeared the night of January 15th.
I'm well aware of your wife's disappearance, Mr. Spencer. I assume all of us here present have read about it in the newspapers. But frankly, I never connected her disappearance to the report we've just received from Captain Hawthorne. His vessel, the Neptune, was miles down the coast the night of the accident.
What accident was? You see, we don't know what happened.
Captain Hawthorne, would you care to summarize?
Of course, sir. On the night of January the 20th, at about 0200, I was in command of the vessel Neptune when it struck a small cabin cruiser on a high sea.
Luke, January 20th. That's 5 days after she disappeared.
Captain, you said that you sank the cabin cruiser?
Well, for reasons already on the record. You see, the little cruiser was cruising without any running lights. We were experiencing extremely high seas. It was a hard rain, and the visibility was practically zero.
Captain Hawthorne has testified that upon impact, he thought he heard a scream.
What?
Well, I cut the engines immediately, and we broke out the searchlights and searched the collision area. And naturally, I lowered some boats over the side, and with some of the members of my crew, I searched the area personally.
What did you find?
Well, very little, I'm afraid to say. You see, in that high sea, the little cruiser sank very quickly. And, well, we were able to salvage some small amount of personal possessions.
Personal possessions?
Whose? They are in evidence, Mr. Spencer.
Might we see them, please?
Of course. See you, Miss Docker. As you can see, not much. Floating boat cushion, boot, and this raincoat.
That's Laura's raincoat.
I gave it to Luke.
All right, Leslie, let's hear it all. Is there some more?
Well,
What about the necklace?
it was floating in that wreckage. And when the searchlight hit it, I caught a glimpse of it and retrieved it.
Luke. Luke.
All right.
Luke.
We're still going to hear it all, Leslie. Is there some more, sir?
Well, but I'm sorry.
But what? Go on. What? What?
Well, when the little cabin cruiser began to sink, I thought I saw a girl in the water.
Could you identify her?
No. The only impression I got was just long blonde hair.
Was it this girl?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that, sir. You see, all I saw was the blonde hair.
Back on the record, and for the benefit of the attorneys for the North Star Line here present for the vessel, the Neptune, let it be stated that the North Star Line has already offered to pay for all damage to the cabin cruiser now sunk at sea. But let the record further show that it now appears there was not only the loss of physical property, there was also a possible loss of life.
No. No! Amy, no! Leslie, no! No, Laura is not dead. My wife is not dead.
Case of death, of course, everything changes.
Who's dead?
I think we're going to save time if I try to explain this in layman terms.
Yeah, would you please get to the point, Lee? Now, can Monica sell the house or not?
At the moment, Edward, no, she cannot.
Oh, well, praise the Lord. The Lord of the lawyers, I don't care which.
Lee, I gave Monica that house as a wedding gift.
Well, yes, Alan, you did, but your New York attorney, very prudently, framed the gift in a living trust. You signed it yourself.
Well, I signed whatever he put in front of me.
Living trust, what the devil does that mean?
Well, Edward, it means that while Alan gave beneficial ownership of the house to Monica, the legal ownership remains in this trust. We call this a living trust. Now, Monica, yes, she can sell the house, but only in compliance with the provisions of this living trust.
I don't understand.
Well, Alan, it means that Monica can only sell the house in the event of your death. At that time, this living trust would be dissolved, and then she becomes the legal owner.
Oh, my dear father, I think we've won, sir. Unless I'm sadly mistaken, I'm not dead.
No. Well, listen, if you'd like, I'd be very happy to try and explain to Monica why she can't sell the house.
I'd love it. And I'd love to be there when you do it, Lee.
Oh, and so would I. And wouldn't it be wonderful if those idiots, the Pages, could be there to hear it, too? Believe me, I would delight in throwing them right out the front door. And with any kind of luck, their little mumsy, too.
Thank you, Lee. We'll see you.
Now listen, you sit there until I tell you to move. Or until Luke gets back. Have you got it? Can you understand that?
Look, you've kept me up all night and now half the day.
Sorry, my heart really bleeds for you.
It should, because I'm starved.
Forgotten all about food.
I did, and I haven't eaten since noon yesterday.
Listen, love, can you do an errand for me?
I am way ahead of you. I'll run to Kelly's, pick up some food, bring it back.
Perfect.
By the way, what do you want on your hamburger?
Are you kidding me? Your head if possible. All of you. I'm telling you. You haven't heard the last of this.
Hey, I'm shaking in my boots. Because neither of you, pal. That should cover it. Give me a big tip.
Thanks. Luke, we've been waiting for you. Did you talk to the captain?
I heard him.
Well, what did he say?
He said that Laura was on a cabin cruiser way down the coast.
What?
Yeah. He said a ship hit it and it sank. There were no survivors.
Come on, Luke, that doesn't even make any sense. What would she be doing on a cabin cruiser?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore, Jackie. I don't know.
Let me just think, okay? Now, we think that David Gray tried to hypnotize my sister, right?
Maybe.
Well, could it be possible that he tried to hypnotize your Laura and made her go out to sea?
I don't know. I know one thing only. I'm going to kill David Gray.
Tonight, Benson's on a secret mission for the governor, and it could land him in the lockup for life. Then the guys at the station house get measured for a lawsuit when Harris takes a poke at the lawyer who took him to the cleaners on Barney Miller. As Raven found a new ally, watch The Edge of Night, following FYI with Al Linden, next on ABC.